Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Ryan. This is the DFS 5-pack. If you're new to the station, we talk all about daily fantasy sports over here. This segment is called Tip of the Day. This is number 30. We just take a few minutes and break down some of the tiny little nuances that is daily fantasy sports. Whether you play DraftKings or FanDuel, each thing should be pretty well applicable to you, especially if you're a newer player. I'm just trying to pick up on those little nuances. So let's dive in. If you guys are new to the station, though, and you want more videos, the easiest, simplest way to get to them, just press that red button that says subscribe. For everybody who gives the thumbs up daily, you are awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for that one. And the Patreon drive, guys, is still going. I think we need 3 more people in order to draw the winner of the free month. Minimum $2 pledge. Get in there. Okay, one more thing too, guys. I mentioned this before. I'll keep bringing it up a few times. Started a second YouTube channel that is all about just my hometown teams, the Packers, Brewers, and Bucks. The link to it is down below. If you are a fan of those teams, I know I have some of you guys out there, please go subscribe to it, tune on in. And as far as today's tip go, let's talk about why we have a tendency to look at some chalk. So fading chalk is great in baseball, and it can be very advantageous to you. But a lot of times in basketball and football, riding with the chalk can be, the safer way to go, especially if you play in cash games. The way Matt likes to play is he's super contrarian. It's his easiest way to get first place. But there's a lot of nights then where chalk goes off that it can be difficult just to get into the money. So we all have different ways we play. Matt kind of enjoys the crazy swings. It's fun when you have the big nights, and it can be hurtful when you finish out of the money for a while. I'm a little bit more boring and conservative in my approach. It's not nearly as exciting, but you don't do a lot of depositing either because you generally don't go out in very extended losing streaks. So this is last night's lineup. As you can see, it's a $25 double up. Top 1,800 people, top 800 place. Number 358, little ways in the money. Nothing sexy or special about this lineup. Did just enough to cash by a few points. But the specific guys I want to talk over is we got a really good chalk play in Rajon Rondo and a really bad chalk play in Alex Len. So start out with the good just because we'll go chronologically. Rondo has a big night at 71.1% ownership, and he goes off for 60 points, approximately 11 to 12 times value. That's a monster night. You don't get a ton of those, but you knew it was possible. You knew it was a big spot for him. He played, obviously about as well as Rajon Rondo was going to play. So out of those 71% of the people that played them, or let's just take a look at it a different way. Out of those 29% of the people that faded him, I bet you less than 1% of them made the money. Now, this is definitely an extreme side of it. You don't typically get people going for 11 or 12 times value. But of the 29% of people that didn't play him, somewhere between 1% and 0% of the people that probably cashed because the chalk went off. The flip side of that is Alex Len, who was god-awful at 9.5 points off of 4K. He was 86% owned, so about 14% of the field didn't play him. The thing was, you still had to get your other pick better, and the likelihood that your pick was so money that you put you into the actual money, maybe 50-50, probably a little bit better than that. So of the 14% of the people that faded him, maybe 55-60% of them made the money. So it didn't give you this gigantic leg up on the field, whereas not playing Rondo was absolutely tragic to your lineup. So that's kind of the difference. And again, just to reiterate, these are two opposite ends of the spectrum right here. And you could take a look at LeBron as well. He wasn't great, but at 90% ownership, knowing the way that lineups are being formulated yesterday, if he goes for 75, which is definitely plausible in this spot, he looked a bit passive again, you're probably not getting anywhere close to sniffing the money. So this is why playing chalk can be beneficial. I placed in 2 out of 3 GPPs last night, even with Alex Len. That's, I think he was 40-some% owned in GPPs. So again, he was terrible. But because such a high percentage of people use him, you can overcome that because even some of the people that skip him are also going to get those other plays wrong that they're filling in with. So it doesn't automatically mean that you're getting this huge bump down from everybody. It's only some of the people who are going to rise above you. I hope this is it's a tough thing to explain if you're new to DFS, but it should give you an outlook on how chalk works. The same can be said for Dwight Powell. He was excellent last night from his 3-point shooting, but he also missed what could have been 5 or 6 minutes later in the game because of the blowout. So, I mean, he could have gone for 45 or 50 points if he had played a little bit longer. And that would have been another guy that would have completely kicked you out of the money. So, yes, fading Len was big in GPPs. But even if you faded Len in GPPs, it didn't mean like you cashed big time. And the flip side of that is, Len's coming off back-to-back mid-40-point games on small salary. He was another guy. He played bad last night, but if they played this game again tonight or tomorrow, he could go right back to giving you 29, 30, 35, 40 points. So he was bad last night, but that doesn't mean he's going to be bad the next time they get into this scenario. He's Alex Len. He is not a sure thing. This is not, Vucevic or Karl Anthony Towns or Joel Embiid or anything like that. He's obviously not a great player, so it does change. So just my perspective on the chalk. Each sport's a little bit different. In baseball, Matt's really pushed me in the direction of playing less chalk and playing more GPPs, and it works a lot more than it does in the other sports. You just kept to kind of know your sport a little bit is the way I view it. So that's what we got today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Press that red button that says subscribe if you're new. Thumbs up is always appreciated, and I will see you in a little bit for our regular scheduled DFS advice.